Five Nights at Freddy's, or Fnaf, is an indie horror game created by Scott Cawthon way back in 2014. The franchise has grown massively over the years, having multiple installments coming out over the years, generating thousands of dollars in revenue, and creating a fan base and franchise that a lot of people know and have come to appreciate. In terms of the games that came out, it goes as follows: Fnaf 1 in 2014, Fnaf 2 in 2014, Fnaf 3 in 2015, Fnaf 4 in 2015, Fnaf Sister Location in 2016, Fnaf Pizzeria Simulator in 2017, Fnaf Ultimate Custom Night in 2018, Fnaf Help Wanted in 2019, and finally Fnaf Security Breach in 2021, and its DLC coming out in 2023, Rune. Now, in technical chronological order in terms of lore, we have Five Nights at Freddy's 4, which was 1983 based on the TV screen we see in the Crying Child's room. Five Nights at Freddy's 2, 1987, based on the pay stub and the infamous Bite of 87! Five Nights at Freddy's Sister Location, based on the fact that we do get a snippet of the Crying Child's room, so it could be the late 80s or early 90s. Five Nights at Freddy's 1, 1993, based on the pay stub. Five Nights at Freddy's 3, it could be 2023 based on it saying it's a horror attraction based on previous pizzerias. Freddy Fazbear's Pizza Simulator, 2023, which was supposed to tie in all things in a nice ribbon, and it arguably had the best ending of any game for the FNAF series. Fnaf Ultimate Custom Night, it can take place after the events of Pizzeria Simulator due to all the previous animatronics being there, basically acting as a limbo for William Afton, aka Springtrap. Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted clearly takes place next due to it being more of a digital age game, and then finally, Fnaf Security Breach, which could take place around the years 2024 to maybe 2029. Gameplay-wise, some games have similar elements to others, such as trying to end the night safely at 6 AM, but most are different in their own way. Fnaf 1 involves you checking your cameras as much as you can to see the movement of any animatronic, as well as having the option to close the left and right doors to stop any of them from getting to you in your office, and use the light on each door to see if an animatronic is also there. Audio cues are also very prevalent and can help beat almost any level easily. Using the monitor, closing the door, and using the light all drain your power for the night, which needs to be conserved to try and safely beat the night. Fnaf 2 is very similar to Fnaf 1 in the sense you listen to audio cues, check the cameras, and can ward off animatronics, but now you have a flashlight to add to your arsenal to check the hallway. You can now utilize a mask to ward off some animatronics as they will recognize you as one of them, and funnily enough, it's a Freddy mask and even Freddy will think that you're Freddy, and you are completely exposed to any and all animatronics. You'll also have to continually wind up the wind-up box or else you will get jump scared by the puppet. Fnaf 3 is a little different now. You can use cameras to check the status of the animatronics, and now with the addition of Springtrap, you can now play audio cues to lure him to certain areas. Every animatronic aside from Springtrap is now a phantom animatronic, and their jump scares can affect your camera systems, forcing them to be needed to be rebooted. However, now none of them will kill you, only Springtrap will. Fnaf 4 now has you play in a similar yet different way. You technically have a door to your left and right, and a closet ahead. Behind you is the bed, and you must use your flashlight to try and ward off any mini Freddys. The flashlight is also utilized to ward off Foxy in the closet ahead, and, using audio cues, you must either flash the light in the hallways on the left or right, or close the door based on hearing the animatronics closing in. Fnaf Sister Location now changed this heavily. For starters, voice acting was now added, and in this game you essentially go through mini-games, repairing and adjusting animatronics, all the while trying to make sure they don't kill you. This was heavily different because in the previous games you could simply try to make it to 6 AM by avoiding the animatronics, but now you have to do tasks and move around rooms to try and avoid being killed. There is also a secret ending night that did the previous games a nice justice by making this night the same as all other FNAF games. There is also a post-game mode that allows you to try multiple nights with different animatronics in the same style as all the other FNAF games. So basically you can choose between a variety of characters, so it'll have some characters on some nights that you choose, but that same secret night that you had before is the one that you're playing in all of these modes. So basically it's FNAF Custom Series. Fnaf Pizzeria Simulator is a mini tycoon game in the sense that you can now build your own franchise, can take sponsorships for more money, buy and place certain items to your liking, and run it like it's your own mini empire. There are hidden secrets and unlockable endings based on some of the items that you can buy, which further adds to the illusion of the business. At the end of each night, you have two things you must do. One is salvage an animatronic that we found in the back alley, or choose to throw it back out. If you are able to get them all in one spot successfully, you get the secret canon ending, and arguably one of the best in the series. At the end of each shift as well, you must do some basic business chores on your computer, and if you chose to keep any of those previous animatronics, there is now a chance that that animatronic can come into your office and kill you if you are not quiet enough. Fnaf Help Wanted is more along the lines of Sister Location in the sense that you now do tasks to complete the mission, and failing to do so will result in you dying, or even taking too long, same result. It took a different approach than the other games and acted more as an attraction game rather than the main part of the story. There is a VR version which enhances the experience significantly, and DLC that adds holiday tones like Halloween to the game. The story also explores what could have potentially happened to Springtrap, now in the form of Glitchtrap, trying to get out of the digital circuit and into the human world again. FNAF Security Breach is vastly different from all of them in the direction that it went. You are now in an area called the Pizzaplex in which you play as a character called Gregory, who needs to vent, and he knows it will be sus. The main goal of this is to explore the entirety of the area you are in, figure out what is going on, why the other animatronics aside from Glamrock Freddy are all trying to kill you, and eventually escaping. There are also multiple endings you can choose from based on previous decisions. Overall, this was one of the more polarizing in the franchise due to the fact that it took a sharp left turn into a different open world style game, which honestly could have been massively interesting, although the implementation needed work. The game also seems significantly less scary than the others, and just more vast and ominous. With the DLC Rune coming out next year, it might further expand on the story and even change some gameplay elements as well. The lore of FNAF is probably what drove people to continue to play the games and enjoy seeking more. All the FNAF games are shrouded in mystery, with the community trying to figure out who's what and what happened then and then why. Who's the purple guy? Who's phone guy? What was the bite of 87 or 83? Does Golden Freddy have two souls inside of it? What is the locked box in FNAF 4? Is Gregory related to the crying child? Most of these got answered, but it took years upon theorizing to try to figure it out. What started off as an indie game evolved so heavily in lore, it has aspects like these. A girl died in the rain a while back by the purple guy, we found out 5 more children were murdered by the purple guy, then 5 potentially more, and how the souls took life into the animatronics, and how the creator of a lot of these animatronics, Henry, lost his daughter Charlotte, the first girl who died, due to the actions of his ex-business partner William Afton, aka the same purple guy, aka Springtrap, aka he always comes back. These plot twists grow and expanded the lore so much that we tried to even get the names of the kids trapped in the animatronics. It's so extensive, and personally for me, that's why I stood around for so long. One other major impact of the FNAF series is the fanbase's will to preserve it and expand it, even if we don't have games based on the main series by Scott. The fanbase has created numerous, and I mean numerous, fan games in inspiration of FNAF. Five Nights at Candy's, Pop Goes Arcade, Afton Build, The Joy of Creation, FNAF Plus, and more recently, Five Nights at Junior's are more along the lines of the more well-known games, but there are so many more that I didn't list that are equally as impressive. These games, in terms of their own story and gameplay mechanics, rendering of animatronics and characters, shows a dedication to this fanbase, and the community is continuing to grow and expanding their craft. Overall, FNAF back in 2014 and FNAF now in 2022 has evolved heavily due to everything discussed previously, and it is very cool to see how the games have changed the landscape of an indie horror franchise. Let me know what you all think down below. What's your favorite Five Nights at Freddy's game, or which project are you most excited for? As always, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.